As I've worked with animals over the years, one thing that I've seen very consistently is the pain that people go through as they're losing their precious pets to death. It's a really difficult thing, and many people go through extreme grief, sometimes even guilt, because they're feeling like they can't do everything they possibly can for this animal who's suffering. I personally know a lot about this. Years ago, there was a time when I lost 3 of my 4 beloved animals, 2 cats and a dog, in an 8-month period. I was completely devastated. It was then that I vowed that I would help others as they go through this end-of-life process with their own animals. I met a dog named Yoda. He was an Airedale, 10 years old. He'd lived with Alec for all of his life. And now Alec told me that Yoda was completely paralyzed in the hind end and had been so for an entire year. Alec had devoted his entire life to taking care of Yoda. And he would carry him out to the yard to do his business, clean up after him, and tend to his every need. But now he sensed that it was nearing Yoda's end of lifetime. So he called me to see what Yoda had to say. I sat with Yoda, and he turned out to be a wise old soul in a curly fur coat. What he told me is that his body was tired, but his spirit was full. He was getting ready to leave, but he wanted to make sure that Alec was all right. What he told me is that Alec had not been properly cared for in his childhood, and Yoda felt it was his job to teach him to care for another being the way he needed to care for himself. So Yoda had stayed around for a year to teach Alec this lesson. Later, Alec told me that there had come a point when his entire attitude about Yoda had changed. He used to get upset when Yoda would make messes in the house, and he was really tired of having no social life because his entire life was devoted to this dog. But suddenly something changed, and Alec let go of his anger. He was no longer taking care of Yoda out of a sense of obligation, but he cared for him from a place of love. Unbeknownst to Alec at the time, this was Yoda's teaching for him. And now that lesson was complete. Because Yoda had hung on for so long, he knew it would be hard for him to leave his body. And Alec sensed the same thing. So Alec arranged for a euthanasia 1 month in advance. During this month, it was a precious time for both of them, knowing that it was their last time together. When the day came, I was invited to deliver Yoda's final words, his final message. It was a gorgeous, gorgeous spring day. Yoda, freshly bathed, was lying on a Persian rug on the front lawn in the sunshine. Yoda had requested that his death be a celebration of his life, and he wanted some of his favorite people to be there. So a few people came, including myself and another veterinarian. And when I asked Yoda what he wanted to say as his final words, he said, "I want you to know that I go in style. The people gathered around me with so much love, the birds, the flowers, and my bath. It is a delight to go in this manner. I leave you in joy. May you all remain in joy." And then, with the help of a loving veterinarian, he went to sleep. Yoda taught me about conscious dying and about conscious living. He was truly a master teacher. Since my time with Yoda, I've had the blessing of speaking with many animals at the end of their life and helping people get through this really difficult time with more peace and ease. The animals don't see death the way we do. For them, it's just like letting go of an old coat that doesn't fit any longer. They don't hold on to things, and they don't worry the way most of us do. They live fully in the present, so there's so much we can learn from them. I truly believe that everyone has the capacity to connect in this intimate way with animals. Get quiet, pay attention, and open your heart. It's really that simple. The messages may come as words as they do for me, or it may come as thoughts or feelings, or even in dreams. You may watch a behavior in your dog or cat or horse or bird that you've taken for granted, and now you realize by simply watching that there's a message far deeper than what you thought before. You might receive a profound message from taking just a few seconds as you drive by a hawk perched on a fence post. The animals are always communicating with us. The question is, are we listening?